What are we talking about today? Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to What Are We Talking About? Sure has been a while since we posted a video, but we're getting right back into it. So, The Walking Dead Season 6, the second half of Season 6 premiered last night, and it was pretty intense. I don't know, I didn't do a review of the last half of Season 6 fully, but we did a podcast episode discussing all that. So if you want to know our thoughts on that, find the podcast. But I'll kind of give you a little bit of a recap. It ended with a straight-up cliffhanger where you don't know whether or not pretty much most of the people of Alexandria are going to survive, and this episode, it concluded that. Like, lots of times it'll be a cliffhanger, and then it'll still take a few episodes before you find out the results of what's going on. But this one, in this episode, you find out everything. So, a lot of people die. Vanessa, I think is her name, which is Rick's wannabe girlfriend, and her son Sam, and her other son, the dude who tried to kill Carl, but then shot him in the eye. Carl got a bullet in the eye, now he's missing an eyeball. So he's going to have an eye patch. He's going to be the mini little governor. Yeah, it was pretty intense. I don't know, I think there was, that wolf dude. And I thought fucking Glenn was going to die again. Like, it was an intense episode. One of the cooler things, though, Glenn and Enid, they had a moment in the church where basically Glenn explained, like, if you want to keep the memory of your parents or whoever you love going, then you got to keep going, because then everything they taught you is still being used in the world, kind of thing. So it's the only way that you can hang on to humanity is by just powering through it. And even if things look shitty and it looks like you're about to die, well, save someone else, because they'll live on. And that's the thing about the zombie apocalypse. You might not make it, but you got to try and make it so somebody does, because otherwise, if no humans live, then we're done. That's the end of humanity, and I don't think people want that. Near the end of the episode, after Carl gets shot in the eye, Rick goes on a fucking rampage, and then, so I kind of thought maybe he was going to get killed or bit or something, who knows, but that never actually happened. Basically, all that happened was he started stabbing them all in the head, and then other people came out to help him, and then everybody came out to help him, and they ended up actually killing all the zombies in Alexandria. So they did it. Like, they took back their place. Now all they got to do is rebuild the walls, maybe expand a little, and they're doing. I love The Walking Dead in Season 6 so far from what they've done, because basically, so the reason why Season 2 was so hard to watch was because Season 2 took weeks of nothing happening, and now Season 6 is the exact opposite. So much has happened. There's been, this is the 9th episode of Season 6, and it's only taken over a span of like 2.5 days. So the timeline is definitely changing. And I think it was Film Theory that just put out a great video this past week all about when the Walking Dead zombie apocalypse will end, using science. So if you like science, you'll like this. He basically says, using the methodology of deterioration, like corpse deterioration, you can tell how long a corpse has been basically rotting based on how rotted it is. And the walkers in The Walking Dead, they deteriorate slower, but they're at a stage where much farther than this, if they deteriorate much more, their brain will be just goo in their head and they will be dead, because we all know that's how you kill a walker, is by braining them, right? So if their brain is turned to black mush inside their skull, they're not really being able to be controlled by that brain anymore. So I think they're doing a really good job of it's almost till the point where it's like real time. And maybe eventually it will get to that point where everything that happens in the episode is like real time. It's actually only an hour of time because they're running out of time to have any more zombies. Maybe they'll find a group of living people that will all become zombies, because that's different. Like, most of the zombies they've been facing in these past few episodes have been there pretty much from the beginning, because there was that giant collection of zombies in that valley or whatever it was that they then tried to herd away from the camp, and then it came back. So those were particularly old zombies that had been there for a long time. So those ones are very far along in the rotting process. But if you find people who have been surviving and they get turned into zombies, they're not going to be that rotted right away, right? Like that wolf guy was not very... He was just brand new zombie. So if, like, in order to keep this show going, they're going to have to find new zombies or new people to turn into zombies or whatever, right? Or other threats other than zombies, because they're dead, and they're rotting, and they're not going to be there forever. And as in that film theory video that Matt Pat pointed out, it's only going to be another week or two before they are all fucked. But now that they killed all those zombies, we don't know where they're going to go next. And in fact, this is a bit of a spoiler, but not really, after the, like, for the next episode, because it showed next time on The Walking Dead. And everybody looked all nice and clean, and it looks like there's going to be a time gap between this episode and the next episode. I might be wrong, but that's what it seems like. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and it's a real good job to come back from this break, and it was a really, really strong episode to come back on. And the entire group dynamic has changed. There's a lot of people that died. But not only that, the people from Alexandria that are remaining are a lot more hardened now, because they had to face off against the biggest horde of zombies we've pretty much ever seen on this show. So some of the people that you wouldn't expect, the priest literally was like, God's not going to save us. Well, God is going to save us because he's giving us the strength to save ourselves. And even he went out there to fight those zombies. And we all know that he's not the most brave soul. So there's been a lot of change of hearts in Alexandria, and it looks like they're ready to do what they have to do to survive. And I can't wait to see where the show goes from here. So next week, more reviews and more discussions. But the most important thing about this is, what did you think about the episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did your favorite character get killed? Or is your favorite character Glenn? We don't know. But I'd like to know, so let me know in the comments down below. Join the conversation. And thanks for watching. Until next time.